Acidonia 158, and today it's my 2015 Game Awards video. And some of these games, before anyone argues and goes have actually been released years before this, but I've only played them this year, so that's why they're on this list. And it's my list. If you don't agree with it, well, it's an opinion. Right, so most played game of 2015. That's not Pokemon, because I was playing ridiculously smart. That was Pokemon, so that gets cut out. Toukiden Kiwami. Yeah, this is a Monster Hunter-like clone. Now, I usually don't like these, but somehow this one I've spent over 100 hours on it, so yeah, this is the Vita version. Yeah, really fun game. There's a demo if you want to play it as well. Both on Vita and PS4, so you can go have a go at it. No one else I can really say about that one. Right, so best 3D platform game of the year. I'm gonna pick Disney Infinity 3.0 for this. I've not played many 3D platformers this year, but when it comes to 3D platformers, this one has better platforming and it's like rival Skylanders does. It also has a much better racing mechanic than Skylanders. Really, Skylanders is pretty disappointing. The racing just feels kind of shoehorned in. The fact that you can only, you know, race on 2 tracks with the starter pack is pretty rubbish, to be honest. But yeah, then you can just. But yeah, I definitely recommend the Toybot Speedway and the Hero Toy Story Takeover expansions for Infinity. They had quite a lot, and you can play as every character in the game in those. You can't play as, unfortunately, you can only play as the actual vehicles. You can't play as mounts or spaceships in the racing one, but there's still a lot to unlock. Everything you unlock from all other parts of the game, most of it can be used in that, so that's a good thing. Also, the racing ones actually, if you put in the highest difficulty really hard, you really will actually put up a fight. Which it definitely doesn't do in Skylanders. Superchargers, even on hard, it's pretty easy to beat. And I'm pretty crap at racing games, so. Yep, so platform of the year goes to Disney Infinity 3.0. Right, most useless character in a game. And it has to go to Broly. I mean, yeah, just look at this. That's embarrassing. Right, most disappointing game. Now, I've never actually bought this game, but it deserves to be on this list, and that's the latest Godzilla game. I mean, I was kind of interested that a new Godzilla game was coming out, because it's been over a decade since Godzilla saved the Earth. And other ones after that, but I'm not counting that. So what happens? They get Japan to develop it, and they just make a complete mess of it. I mean, it's even more terrible unlock system, broken online multiplayer, which is no skill involved. You just get matches with random people and get killed in seconds. It's just a bad idea. The thing that makes me really sad is the Godzilla monster I always wanted to play the game was made playable in this one. Well, why couldn't it be in the previous ones? So annoying. But yeah, this is a really disappointing game in my opinion. I really was going to think it was going to be good, and the thing that makes it more disappointing for me is, well, I don't have a PS4, so, and the PS3 version of the game is essentially a beta of the game. You don't get the entire game. It's just, you can play as Godzilla, that's it. It was like that in the Japanese version too, but I thought there was going to, when they released it outside in the West, they was going to change that and put all the PS4 modes in PS3 version. But nope, they didn't. And then you look at the graphics of the game, it still looks like a PS3 game on PS4. And it had no local multiplayer. So yeah, I really don't understand why it's so difficult for people to make a good Godzilla game. I mean, all they need to do is get the engine from the Defense Force games and just throw a giant monster in it that you can play as. It's not difficult. But instead they get developers who make complete rubbish crappy games and don't know what they're doing with the series. It's a real shame. I mean, there's no reason why a Godzilla game can never be good. It does not seem that difficult. It's not. I mean, most of the effort you put in is just monster animations and the character models. You don't need to make the most detailed buildings in the world. You just need good destruction on them, and even the new one fails at that one, so yeah, really disappointing that one. Right, favourite PC game of the year. And that's gotta be Crimson Clover World Ignition. Yeah, it's a bullet hell game. I've been playing this one an awful lot. Yeah, it's a fun game. I'd really recommend it if you're into an arcade-like game. Completely mental at times, but yep. Right, so next one. Most unfair part of a game. Right, I'm gonna put this down to Puzzles and Dragons Z for the 3DS, because this game has some ridiculous difficulty spikes. I mean, you know, you're getting really far. I think I got near the end of the game, and well, I mean, the first playthrough of the game. It's supposed to be even a harder second playthrough. I never got to, but you go to this dungeon and you have to fight everyone, and then it suddenly spawn these stupid giant Anubis dragons, and you do not kill these Anubis dragons in about 3 or 4 turns. They just instantly kill you. So what does it do? Sometimes these randomly spawned, so what, you get a level and then you get 2 of them at once. One does an instant kill move, then the new one, and next turn later does another instant kill move. It's like, I even tried grinding and collecting certain monsters to like block the attack. You can't block the damage. I just don't get how you do it. It's such a cheap and unfair way of making the game. It's a shame because it's a fun game, but I've heard the Mario game included as well. It's even harder. I don't know that's not even possible, but yeah, just so unbalanced. Right, biggest waste of a good idea. Well, it has to go to Lego Dimensions. I mean, it's not that it's a Skylander-like game I have a real problem with. Well, the price of the figures is way expensive compared to all the other ones. Yes, I know you get a real bit of Lego, but the amount of Lego you're getting essentially is the same amount you can get in like a $5 set. So it's not that impressive when the amount of Lego you're getting, since these are a lot more expensive than that. But that's not really the problem. The biggest waste opportunity, in my opinion, in this game is they've got a midway. They've got a game. They've got stuff based off midway arcade games in the game. While the pack has not been released yet, so no one knows what's in the actual level, the theme world of this. I just look at the character choice and why did they pick Spy Hunter again? Spy Hunter gets too much attention. It's not a good game in my opinion. The last Spy Hunter game was absolutely horrendous and is one of the worst 3DS games I've ever played. It's just completely unplayable. It's just so difficult and unfair. But no, that gets in Lego Dimensions, and then I look at the characters they made for that. So you get all these characters based on TV shows. So what's the character midway? Retro gamer. It's just a guy holding a coin and a tub of change. That's not even a character. I mean, there's midway characters they could have put in the game from classic arcade games. Why did they just have a generic Lego one? That's so disappointing. Especially when I look at the thing that says Rampage. Can we get a figure of one of the Rampage monsters? That would have been amazing. No, instead we just got a lame guy holding a cup. And yeah, the other real big disappointment is Doctor Who being in the game. Doctor Who deserves better than that. Doctor Who's been on for 50 years. You're really saying they could not make a Lego Doctor Who game? Doctor Who deserves his own game, not just to be part of this random weird crossover thing. There's enough content to easily make a game on. Well, if you can do it with Jurassic Park, like already 4 films, and Doctor Who's got 50 years worth, I'm pretty sure they can do it. So yeah, Lego Dimensions, that. This is going to be a weird reward, but most unfair Metacritic reward. Yeah, I mean, I don't really pay attention to Metacritic because I think it's a complete joke, but I noticed this, I actually bought, well, by accident, I didn't know this at the time, the second worst, lowest rated 3DS game by Metacritic, which is Tenkai Knight's Brave Battle, which is like a weird Smash Bros. Like game where you play as a bunch of Lego mechs. It's an unbalanced game and it's not perfect, but the second worst game in the 3DS is not that bad. It's broken and unfair, yes, but it's not unplayable. It's just got ridiculous difficulty spikes. It's like one level that's laughably easy and the level where I think it can kill you in a second. It's kind of annoying. But is it the worst game I've ever played? No, no, definitely not. And calling it the second worst game on the 3DS? No, games like Spy Hunter are worse than this. Puzzle Bobble, the Puzzle Bobble on the 3DS is worse than this, in my opinion. I mean, it's not like at the time when the game was released, which was technically last year, 2014, there was any mecha games you could play on the 3DS. Of course, that's completely redundant now, because if you really want to play a mech game, you could just go play Little Battlers Experience. So, if you want to play a good mech game on the 3DS, well, there you go. If there's a robot, play that game. You don't need Tenkai Knights anymore, but I didn't pay much for the game and I'm not too bothered. It just proves to me that you can't really trust Metacritic, it's just a complete joke. Aside, right, best free game. Now, by my free game, I mean it has to be actually free and not some like timeless freebie. Right, and this is going to be one I played a while back. And this is like weird twin stick shooter like game we have ammo called Relic for Zero. It's on Steam and it's free and it's a fun enough game and it's not very difficult. Well, it's not easy, but it's not super difficult, but you can have some fun with it and it's free. If you want a twin stick shooter arcade game and don't want to spend any money, have a go at this one. It's decent, that's for sure. Right, most disappointing 3DS game. Right, this one's an easy one to pick. Regular Show, Mordecai and Rigby in 8-bit land. Now, I don't mind the graphics of this game. I think they look fairly good, and the music is pretty good as well. But the thing that I have a problem with it is it's got unbalanced difficulty. Like all these games on this list, it's just so wonky to play. I mean, there's just some bad design ideas in it. It's like sometimes there's one-hit deaths and all that in it. Bizarre limited lives, but things like collectibles are all laughably easy spot places to find. And here's one of the weirdest disappointing things in the game. No voice acting. And you can say, well, why is that disappointing? I mean, this is the first real regular show game on consoles or handhelds. But here's the thing, the regular show games on iPhone and Android, they have voice acting. The game, I think, Ghost of Toasters was actually a bet, which I got for free, was technically a better game than this 3DS one. Because, well, it was weird that the game bizarrely, even though you beat the game, had no ending. It had all the entire voice actors from the show in it, so why does the 3DS game have none in it? It just feels so weird that they do that, but yeah, pretty disappointing game. Again, I didn't pay much for it, so I'm not too upset or anything, but it could have been better. It's not complete train wreck, it's not 100% unplayable or anything like that. Well, anyway, so best 3DS game, Shovel Knight 3DS. Shovel Knight. Yeah, I actually waited for this one until the actual physical version come out for about it, because I wanted a real copy of the game. This game's really fun. Although I'm pretty sure most people know what this game is, so I'm not going to talk about it much. Oh yeah, worst company. Yes, and pretty obvious that most people, I'm going to say Kiwami, but yeah, everyone's going to say that, so I'm going to pick a second one. I'm going to pick Arc System Works, because they are useless. It's really useless. I mean, I've had problems with them this year. I mean, let's think about it. Guilty Gear Expert on PS4 and PS3. Europe had to wait 6 extra months after America for that game. But yet there was zero differences between the European version to the US version. Oh yeah, and here's a big kicker, it was digital only as well, so in Europe, so yeah, thanks Arc System Works. So not only did you give us a worse version of the game, but an inferior version, and you didn't even make it cheaper as much either. Also, you also release it like a week before the digital version of the final version of Street Fighter 4 come out on PS4. Yeah, that wasn't a very clever move, was it? Oops. And they did the exact same thing with the last BlazBlue game, which I actually bought for the Vita but had to take back. Reason why I had to take it back, get a refund on it, because they did not put the single player story mode on the actual cartridge. They made it a separate download. Now, what I mean by separate download, I don't mean an actual patch. You know, if it was a patch that added it in, which is so stupid. I mean, if you're gonna buy a fighting game for a Vita, you're obviously gonna be playing it single player more than you are multiplayer. So why would you leave the story out? And there was nothing really clear written on the box saying this whatsoever, saying, oh, you need to download the story mode. Otherwise I would not have bought the thing. The thing is though, the bit I played of the single player, full of verses, it looked and played fine, so... Well, yeah, the story mode is what I wanted it for, because obviously it's a handheld version. And I couldn't download it because it was classed as DLC, and because my Vita account is American, it means I could not download the DLC because Sony locked any DLC on the Vita to only work through that region's system. So if you've got an American account, you can only download American DLC, even if it's free. Yes, I know it's stupid, but anyway, I shouldn't complain that much because they're gonna refund on it and then get Shovel Knight for that. So so something good came out of that one at least. But yeah, that system works. Stop delaying games all the time. It's really kind of pathetic that you keep doing this for all your games. You're not helping customers here. You just don't trust you, especially people in Europe anymore. Right, so here's the weird one. Weirdest ending to a game. Marvel Superhero Squad: The Infinity Gauntlet. Now I actually had this on I've got this on 360 and thought it was a pretty fun game. The 3DS version that was playing this version of it is an entirely different game. So what's so weird about it? It's not the actual end, it's the ending of the game. So you beat the final boss, you get a little cutscene. Okay, that's fine. That's not why it's weird. So then there was another level. The final level of the game, you play as the villains. Now this is actually an exclusive to the 3DS because you can't play as the bad villains in the actual 360 versions of the game. So yeah. So why is it weird? So you play these levels of villains. I think you end up beating Captain America and I think Black Widow at the end, and then the credits. Yes, this is the superhero game where the final level of the game has you beating up the superheroes. It's like, why did they do this? Such a weird thing to do. Right, and now going on to worst game of the year, and this one, well, this was an easy pick, and it's Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy for the Vita. I mean, some people would say, well, what's wrong with you bashing this? It's supposed to be a classic old school dungeon crawler game. Well, yes, I don't have the problem with that part of the game. What I do have the problem with the game is, it is one of the most poorly designed games I've played in years. I mean, this was some of the poor design things, so I had to start the game twice because I got lost in the game. On the first mission. Reason? Because I didn't go to this random subway to talk to this random NPC who couldn't even bother drawing an actual face on. For some reason this triggered off the event in the dungeon. But the game doesn't tell you this, it goes go to this dungeon. So okay, I went to this dungeon. But it didn't say go to this subway before going to this dungeon, so I had no clue where to go. And I was wandering around hours just fighting things and wondering what the problem was. The game has lots of other annoying features, like very early on, I mean, you buy the first dungeon, you've got one-way doors. Then you've got teleport mazes. I don't think I spent some time on this, I spent 15 hours on this thing, so it's not like I just turned it on and just threw it away. The plot was just stupid. It didn't really seem to be going anywhere. The character creation idea, yeah, making your own characters is interesting, but here's the thing, you have to use certain items to hover over certain areas in the game anyway, which is an item otherwise, if you don't have a certain character with a spell, so why do you just automatically give someone this spell as a free item? As a free spell that doesn't take any that anyone can use that don't count as a magic slot. You can't use it in battle anyway, so yeah, annoying. Even the character creation had some really strange things. And I'm looking at character creator, and for some bizarre reason, you can pick ages of the character. You can only pick ages 11 to 18. And Why? It's so weird. Yeah, the game has some really poor designs. I mean, the reason why I gave up on him once I figured out the thing that the loop that got stuck in because not talking to someone when the end didn't tell me was because it decided to stop telling me to do stuff again. Yay! Yep, it decided to stop telling me to go places again, and I had no clue where to go. So I got into this random dungeon, and dungeon was a weird teleporter maze. I'm not sure that was meant to go in or not. I could beat the enemies there, but so I used this key to get in the place, and then suddenly when I had to go back into the place, oh yeah, I had to buy or find another key to unlock the same door. I mean, who designs a game where you've got a key to a dungeon that locks itself after you leave the place? That's just terrible design. So yeah, it's a poorly designed game, and you can get easily lost in it just by stupid scripting events. And combat didn't bother me, or the graphics or anything like that. It's just the design ruins it for me, and that's why it's my worst game of the year. Right, so my best game of the year, and unfortunately it's a game which I can no longer play, and that's Shin Megami Tensei 4. Yes, I know this game did not come out this year, but well, I had to wait until the 3DS YouTube hack before I could even play the thing, because I wanted a real copy of the game, and Atlas decided to only give you digital only about a year and a half after America, and the game was 100% identical to the US version. So yes, that was annoying, very annoying. I don't know why they did that, but and what that was all about, because they know probably other games. So yeah, really like this game. I technically only ever beat the game once, because unfortunately I can't play it anymore because the YouTube pack no longer works, and I've only got an original 3DS, and there's no other way I can actually make it so it can play region-free games anymore. Still got about 60 plus hours of fun out of the game, so, and I'd like to play the sequel. I just really hope the sequel Atlas have the common sense to actually release it physical in Europe, because if they don't, they're still going to be up there with Arts System Works. To me, as one of the worst companies that just basically treats Europe like dirt and does not even try to even fix the situation, if they do. But yeah, when I say is it a sequel? Well, it's on Kodak, it's on Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final. It's more like a semi-sequel, isn't it? It's not. I don't know what it is. Anyway, that's out next year, probably. Well, in Japan anyway. I don't know about the rest of the world. So yeah, I'd like to play that someday if I get a chance. That's another thing. If that was screw Europe over and over again, I don't know. And it's going to be a really strange. It's a little bonus one, which is going to be a strange one. Best game like Castlevania this year. Chibi the 3DS Chibi Robo game. And some people would say, well, that's not a Castlevania game. Well, you have someone that looks like a whip, you fight, even one of the bosses looks like something like Castlevania. And one of the bosses looks like something like Darius. That's actually kind of a fun game. I don't think it's that bad of a game. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a better Castlevania game than Kiwami made. That's on 3DS, that's for sure. Right, and so, last one. Now, this isn't really well, but what games am I looking forward to next year? Well, two games. Obviously, well, we don't know the release date of it, or no one does yet, but the next Pokemon game, which I'm guessing will be called Pokemon Z. Well, the show's being called that, and since we're adding Pokemon to the show that's not in the game yet, it's pretty obvious that there's going to be a new Pokemon game next year. Well, yeah, of course I'll be looking forward to that, and Yokai Watch. Yes, America can already play the thing, but yeah, Nintendo of Europe decided not to release it until 2016 in Europe, and it's still yet to get release date over here. So yeah, that was my 2014 Game Awards. No, 2015 Game Awards. So thank you for watching and listening.